you going?
You look panicked and I was coming over to see if you
No,
needed assistance.
Nope, I was fine. Didn't ask for help, so I'm good.
She's a strong, independent woman.
We're on, my guy.
Yeah, we're on.
We're on?
Go.
Why don't anybody point to the camera? Anyway, hey, everybody.
I pointed back to your chair.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to an all-new episode of SCNS Live, the Super Cool Nerd Show. Thank you for joining us out there in the Super Cool Nerd Nation. And today is Victory Day. Because after 118 days, the studios have finally admitted defeat. The strike is over. Now, to further explain, yes, we had cut some of our coverage because we were standing in support of the actors and did not want to give any promotional work to anything that was working in the studios. I was probably the most hard-headed to do that, but, you know, these people didn't want me to do it. So anyway, so if you want somebody to blame, it's them. But anyway,
I mean, I'll take
blame us for being in solidarity with the people that we make this show about.
This is true.
I mean,
This is true.
I'll take the blame for a good cause. Sure.
The workers in general. Yeah.
You just heard him say it. Jason's on the man's side.
Yeah.
Oh, I
The
see how.
studio executive side.
I'm too brown to
Jason
be the
the
man.
X.
Anyway, I am Jason the X. Thank you for joining us out there. To my left, there's Kat.
Apparently, we forgot how to do all of this while they were on strike.
It's a
Like,
happy
we're
day.
just
It's
not-
been a while.
Yeah.
And over there's Cass.
I'm actually not surprised that we forgot how to do this. We
Yeah,
forget
no,
on a weekly basis.
Yeah, I'm more surprised when we remember from week to week.
And over there on the board, turning the knobs, making everything look pretty, it's Cora.
Hi.
Look, there's lower thirds.
I don't know what I'm doing,
Yeah.
so I'm sorry.
Lower thirds, please go to supercoolnerdshow.com. Anyway, so yeah, let's talk about that. Today, the SAG announced there was a deal reached with the studios. You probably have a lot more information than I do.
I wouldn't say a whole lot more. They do not tend to release the details of the deal until, they can't release them until the larger...
They did say they weren't doing that until tomorrow.
Yeah, until it gets voted on. I will say strike, as you said, was 118 days. This is the longest strike in history. It's also the second time that...
For SAG-AFTRA.
For SAG-AFTRA. Yeah.
Apparently,
I don't know. There are auto workers somewhere screaming at
they're going to review the tentative
computer
agreement
screens in our vast audience.
and
I felt
vote
like
tomorrow.
Yeah.
it had to be said.
I did have like a short list of the wins here. $1 billion in new wages and benefit plan funding, streaming participation bonus, minimum compensation increases that break the so-called industry pattern, and for the first time, consent and compensation guardrails on the use of AI, raised pension and health caps to channel more value into our funds, and critical protections for diverse communities.
One of the biggest wins is that AI, basically, the studios wanted to scan your image into a computer and be able to use it in perpetuity. And then when SAG-AFTRA said no to that, they said, oh, only dead people then. We can do that with dead people, and that's fine. And SAG-AFTRA was like, no. So those are some really big wins.
Actors just turning up dead. Oh, but they'll be in this movie.
Yeah, like that would be a fun thriller to write about the studios going after actors so they'd be dead and qualified.
I think you just wrote the next screenplay. Please join the Writers Guild.
I will say we've already seen deceased actors done by AI in a movie released this year, The Flash. So it was a very real possibility, and the fact that SAG-AFTRA got them to cave on that is a very, very good thing. It guarantees that almost guarantees that we're going to have an industry in 20 years, because that was not guaranteed with some of what was on the table in the strike.
My stories. But yes, it is good to be back. Coincidentally, it was like everything happened that day, by the way. Ghostbusters' new trailer came out, which I was happy about. The strike ended, and I had to do our SDCC credentials too.
Yeah.
So it was like, this is a damn good day. I felt like just popping open a bottle of whiskey like right there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because nobody here drinks champagne.
I mean, I drink champagne.
Not really.
I drink champagne.
Also, when do you
right now?
not want to just pop open a bottle of whiskey?
I mean, yeah, that's true. Anyway, literally got one open now. Anyway, yes, it is good to be back doing this show weekly. And hopefully we get some good television out of this now the writers are back to work.
I mean, I think with some of our stories, you'll see what television is
I
coming
do like
towards
seeing
us.
all the actors that are promoting now. Like, it's like night
It
and
was a
day.
flood. Like 12:01 hit, because it ended at 12:01 this morning. 12:01 hit, and just immediately flood of promotional material, which
Like
I
some
support.
Leslie Brandt, Alan Richardson, like the first things on my timeline sharing, like, here's what I'm working on. Here's this. I'm happy to be doing this.
Mika Burton, just over the moon, clearly. Yeah.
And like, I guess props to everyone who supported it. Cass and I felt like we had a little bit less choice than some people because we do make our living from this industry, but the support was just overwhelming. Like, from people in general being like, no, you should pay your artists, and that's always good to see.
I'm honestly shocked they ended it before the holiday season because, man, they were really making themselves out to be the villains in this. Like, they're just going to be like Scrooge just sitting up there, suffer for your holidays.
And I'll remind you of the exec that said we are going to wait until they are homeless. He said that about the writers. Wait until they are homeless to
He said
do
that
this
in
deal.
public. He knew he was on the record.
Like,
That's
I
wild.
Do not, wild.
You dumb.
I was David Zaslav, right?
I believe so, but
Still
I didn't
not
want
a
to
good
say
guy.
It is the dumbest thing I ever heard. Like, why would you say that out loud?
Where everyone can hear you.
Seriously.
Or anybody might. Did y'all hear what he said? Like,
Did you hear-
anybody.
Did you hear this bit?
Anyway, yes, but there is a certain way that we do this show. Let's kick this thing off with some super cool nerd news. So I'm going to go ahead and get the venom out of my system here. Speaking of AI being a problem, today DreamWorks co-founder Jeff Katzenberg, this was found at a speaking engagement he was doing, and I love DreamWorks. I've loved their work for a while. Some of their How to Train Your Dragon is one of my favorite things they do. But Mr. Katzenberg basically was trying to tout the benefits of using AI by saying this statement: in the good old days, you might need 500 artists and years to make a world-class animated movie. I don't think it'll take 10% of that 3 years from now with the use of AI. Did you not read the assignment of everything that's been going on in the past few months? Why would you say this? Also, we've seen what AI can do. Has anybody seen that recent Disney thing where they had actors replaced in the background with AI and they looked
terrifying?
They scared me. Nothing scares me, but them people scared me. I do not want to wake up. If I wake up and see that, my life is over.
Yeah.
I'm going to accept it. But, sir, what are you thinking? There's a reason you put 500 artists and all these years of production into some of these works that y'all have produced. Did you forget? Oh, that's right. You did Quibi. Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
I'm never going to let anybody forget that. You tried. You tried and failed. Why would the co-founder of DreamWorks say such a massively moronic thing? Especially considering the atmosphere. Read The Room. What room was he in? We need to find a room. So.
I mean,
Hopefully one with padded walls.
Yes, it's like that meme. Yes, Grandma, let's get you back to the home.
Oh man.
I think that he just said exactly what he wants to happen. Like, he doesn't care about art. He doesn't care about movies. He just cares about money. And I think the one little tiny thing that he doesn't realize yet is that people like art. And that's it. If you miss that, then you're like, sure.
Why would you threaten the work of such a renowned organization as DreamWorks as well? Shrek! Y'all did Shrek!
Hubris.
Okay, but
Classic, like, old Greek tragedy hubris.
can we also engage with the fact that Shrek was considered a punishment for people?
Well, that is true.
To work on Shrek was a punishment. To work on the Prince of Egypt was a reward.
Oh, jeez.
So, maybe Shrek isn't the best choice.
I don't even know what to tell you about Prince of Egypt. I hated it. I saw part of it. What? I didn't like it.
The Prince of Egypt?
Yeah, I didn't like it.
I didn't know it was possible to not like that movie.
I didn't either. that's a classic.
It's one of the greatest animated features of our time.
It's beautiful.
Fun fact, when I was in the Navy, this movie caused a guy to lose his mind, and he kidnapped his kid and went across state. And I had to take him to the break. So
What?
for some reason, that like turned me off. Like, I don't ever want to see this movie. What has got some subliminal message that'll make me go crazy?
I mean, I guess if Cinderella made me murder my parents, I probably wouldn't like it as much.
I've met your
I'm
parents.
trying to figure out
you
how
adopted? Anyway.
that would. You know what? I don't want to
It
know.
was the weirdest thing, and I was like, I'm never watching that movie. Like, it was.
I guess that's fair.
How does the Prince of Egypt make you kidnap your kid? It's not like
This dude like lost his mind. It was
I'm
crazy.
saying it's not on the list.
But-
like you look up to the Joker or American Psycho or something, then I'm gonna be wary of you. If you're like the Prince of Egypt is my favorite movie, I'm not like you're a dangerous person.
Right.
That's not a red flag movie.
Yeah.
Red flag. That was
But I'll
beige
drop
at
it.
worst.
If
But
he
I'll
said
drop
I
it.
think
Anyway.
the Pharaoh is right, then we might have a
that's
problem.
That's
but,
where the
like,
problems come in.
yeah.
It's Patrick Stewart, though.
I didn't say he wasn't sexy. I said he wasn't right.
I don't know. I forgot what we were talking about.
DreamWorks guy wants to do AI. Anyway, bad idea. I'm hoping that someone put this out to maybe help this man not make any rash and stupid decisions out loud. Please just stop. Do what I do when I talk crap to my wife. I make sure nobody's around when I say stuff like that, all right?
I mean, the truth is that AI could be a huge asset to artists in their efficiency and really just getting to focus on the parts of their job that require more creativity and insight and thought. And it does seem like their all-out approach is going to villainize AI entirely, which is not a huge concern of mine, but it is, like you can't villainize the future per se.
Yeah.
It's not great.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was mine. I think everything else I have will bring things up. So, Kat, what you got this week?
Well, in the slew of renewals and stuff that we've seen, Netflix announced that Arcane is getting a season 2.
Ooh.
Arcane was a really cool show that was based on League of Legends. It had a bunch of really cool female characters, including Jinx and somebody. And also Caitlyn, and Caitlyn in the picture that I have is being told by Riot Corporate what would make her a whole lot prettier, so you can enjoy that image. But yeah, it was the first streaming-only series to win an Emmy, animated series to win an Emmy, and is a really solid, I'm excited to see where they're going with it. They have a fun, resource thing that they're doing with magic that's just fun to watch. So yeah, season 2 next summer.
I mean, I enjoyed the first. Yeah,
I thought
Jinx.
it was I absolutely remember the ending.
Yeah.
I loved that about it.
It definitely ended with a cliffhanger that I've had to wait years to see.
I thought it was brilliantly done, though.
I've
especially with the that kind of unhinged character all throughout, and then as soon as the traumatic thing happens, she makes a decision, and then we're done. It was just very efficient.
Yeah, but ever since I heard this news, I've been humming Imagine Dragons all day. So.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I think they did something really smart with this series by focusing in on certain characters that they wanted to explore and not being too worried about making it canon. League of Legends is hard to approach, even for very experienced gamers, because of the number of different heroes and all of that stuff that you can play. So I'm excited to see. I assume there will be more characters that they'll bring in that will mean stuff to people who aren't
that
me,
other people are going to be very excited about.
Yeah. But just really, really good show. Very solid storytelling. Really fun animation styles. Yep. And, looking forward to seeing what their next chapter looks like.
2 platforms at the same time.
Drop Twitch. I'll work on it later.
Sorry, Twitch.
Yeah.
It was nice
Go watch
to
on
see
YouTube.
you. And Ariva, goodbye.
I'll fix it later. We'll see if that fixes our stream issue there. Anyway, Cass.
Yeah.
No, it still says we're live.
Jason, why
It
are you
just
trying to
says-
sabotage the show?
It's just saying that there's going to be buffering, so I'm not sure what's going on with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm back up. Showing.
Yeah, looks like I'm back up too. Okay, maybe just took some time to.
We're recording this too, right? So
I think so.
I guess we'll find out later.
Anyway,
You know what? That's fine. This is our first show back to doing our normal
so
thing. It's fine.
it looks like it's stopped buffering so much. Anyway, sorry.
It's okay.
Totally.
Wasn't there another Netflix trailer too?
I missed the Avatar one, by the way.
Oh yeah.
I've never had a dog in the fight on Avatar. Just
Me neither, but it does look good.
both franchises, honestly.
Fair enough. I had not watched The Last Airbender until the pandemic, and it popped up on Netflix, and I was like, sure. I tried it a couple of times. I didn't really like it, and then I just fell in love with it. It's a really, really well done story. It has the best redemption arc I think I've ever seen. And it's a really interesting show while still maintaining that it is a kid's show pretty much throughout. So I'm interested if they do age it up a little bit. I'm interested to see what that looks like. It is going to be shorter. The first season is going to have 8 episodes when they originally said that 10, but it's going to have 8 episodes. They're going to be an hour long. I really don't know how much they're covering. I don't think they're covering as much as the first season of the animated show did.
I think that'd be impossible
it was
to do. But Netflix pulled it off with One Piece. So
Sure.
I like that
I
show.
didn't watch it. I didn't watch it.
The thing that One Piece had, where's the camera? The thing that One Piece had going for it that Avatar does not have going for it is the original creator was so nitpicky on the original One Piece that he was not going to let that product be shown unless he was satisfied with it. And that was why one of the big reasons it turned out so good. Avatar doesn't have that. The original creator said bye and dipped. And that's not to say that the show will be bad by any measure. But that's the big difference here currently. It still looks good. So like I'm still going to give this a shot. But you know, I wanted to throw that in there real quick.
Fair. I mean, I'll still watch it because it'll be my only introduction to the series. I mean, I've never watched Korra or Avatar, so.
I didn't like Korra.
I didn't like Korra.
Rude.
No one likes Korra.
Oh.
Rude.
So yeah.
There's no trailer for
The
it,
show.
but Umbrella
The show.
Academy.
Korra with a K or
Maybe
Korra
there's
with a
not
C?
trailer.
How do you spell your name again?
Moving on.
Anyway, let's
real
go ahead.
nasty over here.
Let's talk about some Nintendo Switch. There's actually I hate Black Friday, but there's a sale on Nintendo Switches that's coming up for the OLED, and I can give my old one to my daughter. But we all played. Well, not all of us. What are you going like that for?
I thought we were taking turns.
Are we? Oh, so sorry, Cora. Hey, Cora, what have you got for us this evening? And besides my deepest apologies.
Okay, so
I am so sorry.
sorry. Let me get some syrup.
Can you make it something gaming so it can lead into my Nintendo store?
Yeah,
Okay,
I mean,
thank you.
my first story was
I
going to
appreciate
be
that.
something gaming, sort of tangentially. So there was a little movie that came out not too long ago. I'm sure all of you have heard of this little thing called Five Nights at Freddy's. I think, you know, it's kind of niche.
Yeah, it's super fun.
Well, in the words of William Afton, I always come back. It's already greenlit for a second movie. It was greenlit before the first week was over. It's already in pre-production. I did want to talk about some of the numbers it did. So, the budget for this movie was $20 million.
Okay.
On opening weekend, this is just opening weekend, domestically it made $80 million. And worldwide it made $132 million.
Wait, 132 million just worldwide.
Just worldwide.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This broke so many records.
This almost toppled
20 million.
couple records.
This almost toppled Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
That would made me so happy.
Also, because it was also released on Peacock. I think the same weekend. Or
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. So
the same
I think
day.
this includes the Peacock numbers.
Okay. Yeah.
Still.
Yeah. So this movie just dominated. Like, I knew this movie was gonna do well, but I did not expect it to do this well.
Also, note streaming companies releasing numbers. Look at that.
Yeah, I know, right?
Ooh.
I will
Deal,
say,
perhaps.
But holy crap, 20 million to make, and they pulled in literally over 200 million.
yeah, and
That's the first weekend.
yeah, that's just the first weekend. That's
Yeah.
not including the subsequent weekends. And to me, that just also tells me that more and more companies should be doing practical effects, because most of the effects in this movie were practical. The animatronics were made by the Jim Henson Creature Shop, and in addition to that, they made a second set of suits so that live puppeteers could wear them. So when they're walking around, those are people in suits, and when they're doing the stuff on the stage, that is an animatronic. So they made two, and it's still budget 20 million.
I had to look up the box office currently on this movie. $221 million.
I will say, speaking of the suits, that from what I've learned of the lore of Five Nights at Freddy, it is very important to have two different suits.
Yes.
One that has a person in
Yes.
it and one that doesn't.
After watching the movie,
After watching it, yeah.
It
Everyone got
depends
to
how
see
much you want to see that person again, I guess.
He's fine. He's fine.
And like, yeah, some of those suits had to be pretty big to fit a person.
This was only on 3,600 screens.
Yeah,
People turned up for this movie.
The thing with Five Nights at Freddy's is, while it is a very extremely popular franchise, if I want this movie to do numbers, except for the people that were in charge of the movie, because Scott Coffin, who is the creator of the original series, was a co-writer and co-producer on the film. I think he was co-producer. Don't quote me on that.
I would be shocked if he wasn't.
Yeah, he had his hands on this, and he knows the fandom because he hides from the fandom. I don't blame him for that, by the way.
Pretty intense fandom.
It's a pretty intense fandom. But so he knows his fandom. He was already like, no. This is gonna do numbers. You can get actors, like you can get the good shit, and it's gonna do great. It did, and it did great, and it did better than any of the reviewers thought. And this is another case of, don't read the reviews, not because of spoilers, but if you're reading the reviews from like Robert Ebert, they're gonna be bad because they don't understand horror.
With these kind of numbers, it's pretty much academic that there will be a sequel.
Oh yeah, and it's already in pre-production. We have no other information on that. We can hazard some guesses based on the games and how the first movie ended, which I won't go into because I don't want to spoil anyone who may not have seen it yet. Go watch it; it's actually good. But yeah, we have several games of lore that we could like pull something as an idea.
20 million is actually really cheap
It is.
for that. When you think about, like, first of all, the dual animatronics and the pull of getting Jim Henson Studios to do it.
Yeah.
But then, like, on top of that, to have Josh Hutcherson and a couple other names in the movie.
Yeah, I was thinking about it, and I think that it benefited hugely from having a couple of locations. It was really two.
Yeah,
And
really,
then
the house
some.
and the Freddy Fazbear.
That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking. They probably shot it in, like, a month, like, primary shooting, and just shipped them out there. And
Yeah.
And also, the movie was good. I enjoyed
good.
it.
it's a fun ride. It's exactly as scary as you think it will be. It's
Yeah.
not, like,
Yeah,
way more intense. It's just fun.
yeah. One of my friends put it as, this is a really good teens' first horror, and you know what? Yeah.
It's like Goosebumps vibes, almost.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not coming to Five Nights at Freddy's to have nightmares later. I'm coming to Five Nights at Freddy's to have a good time and get jump scared.
Yeah, you watch Willy's Wonderland for that.
Yeah.
Willy's Wonderland was not. It was exactly what it was supposed to be.
Exactly. You know.
I only had one disappointment with Five Nights at Freddy's, and that was that they didn't have the iconic jingle song in it, which
Completely lost on me, but
it's I don't remember what it's called. It's dun, 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 dun. It is
Sure.
it is a noise that plays every single time before Freddy jump scares you.
Gotcha.
So it was very interesting to see that it wasn't there, but also it wasn't lacking for not being there. It was just surprising.
Yeah.
They used it in the advertising though.
I was concerned at one point, and this is a minor spoiler, but it is minor, that they weren't going to do their, like, aggro faces. And I was like, they switch into aggro, and they look distinctly different, and I don't know a lot about the franchise, but I know that, and I was not disappointed.
Foxy.
And I think that they benefited hugely from hiring Josh Hutcherson, not only because he's a fantastic actor and he's really, adorable and you love to watch him, but also because he's 5'5". And so everything looks so big.
Hold on a second. Hold on. The camera. Hold on.
Oh yeah, it's just kind of going in, huh?
As you were like doing
Hi.
this.
And his whole ass vibe is he needs protection and he's scared. Like,
He's-
that's how he got famous,
Let me just.
is needing some help.
Sorry, I'm still broken about the camera.
There-
It's stuck there now.
That's
Do you need
happens.
bring up the Insta 360 and it should be already running so you can.
Or you can
Did you
just
hold
leave
up
it
your
on
hand
the-
or something? And it,
Yeah, she
oh, it hit the
I didn't
camera
mean
go
to.
nuts.
We don't have the budget to Ken Burns this.
I'm sorry.
Or if we don't have the budget to
Oh
not
wow, it
Ken
is
Burns
just
this.
stuck
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, it zoomed in at this great.
Yeah, maybe
moment.
I'll talk for a while.
It's a dramatic. Okay, I can do that while she resets that camera. So
Tries to.
yeah. What was I going to talk about? Nintendo. Yes. Congratulations, Finance Fridays. Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom was one of the fastest selling games in Nintendo Switch history, and it was completely blown out of the water by Super Mario Brothers Wonder. It is now the fastest selling game in the series. 132 million units sold. It achieved this record after selling 4.3 million in just the 2 weeks leading up, in just the 2 weeks that the game released. But now we're up to 132 million copies. Also, the game, from everything I've seen, it looks fantastic. I chose Spider-Man 2 over this, which is now finished, so now I can move on to Super Mario Brothers Wonder. It is definitely on my list. Let me see. Yeah. So this just blew Legend of Zelda out of the water, which is kind of unheard of. Usually Zelda is like the one that brings in even the casuals and everything, but I guess we forgot about the power of Mario coming off of a very successful movie and kind of getting back out in the spotlight. People like Mario Brothers games, especially traditional side-scrolling games, guys. We should get more of these. Didn't we just have fun with one playing Ninja Turtles? Shredder's Revenge?
So fun.
Mm-hmm.
So much fun.
So there's room for, and also there were other Mario games released during this time. We got a remake of Super Mario Brothers RPG on top of this, and man, people came out to play Super Mario Brothers Wonder. Cora, have you played it yet?
I don't have it.
Okay, you don't have it. Okay.
No, but I really want to play it.
I'm
Looks like so
probably
much
gonna
fun.
pick it up this weekend just because I do want to finally. But yeah, side-scrolling classic Super Mario Brothers game just comes and blows everything out of the water. I'm loving all of the love that these old school games, like I loved Metroid Dread. Of course, I love the Shredder, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. But yeah, this is the first side-scrolling Super Mario game in 11 years. The love is still there.
I did not realize it had been that long. That's wild.
These are the things that make me want a Switch, because, like, yeah, the easier kind of retro gaming, like, not easier to, but graphics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easier to make smaller for the Switch's purpose. It just, yeah.
And Nintendo is slowly learning that their older games have a fandom and people will pay money to be able to play these games again. So they're slowly kind of accepting. I say accepting because they've been so hesitant before, it seems.
Our friend Cheyenne is in the chat and is speaking of the excellent game of Super Mario Brothers Wonder. So yes,
Yeah.
I mean, we even said when they brought out the trailer, this game looked happy.
Oh yeah,
And that's what you want.
All the bright colors and everything. It's
I've seen one of the stages, like someone going through one of the stages, and the little piranha plants are singing, and they're like
Oh, jeez.
popping out of the pipe in tune with the music and like dancing as they follow Mario around, and then like go back into a pipe, and it is the cutest thing I think I've ever seen in
I'm
a
going
Mario
to buy this game tomorrow. I have to play this now.
Also, the little flowers can talk to you, like the little ones with faces. They talk to you.
I mean, if you can't squat behind white blocks, I don't know what we're doing though.
You know that's true.
I mean, I did have a blast playing Spider-Man 2. One of the best stories out there, and lot of great dialogue. I'll just patiently wait for Spider-Man 3 now.
Mm-hmm.
But what's the point if you can't be an elephant?
I can beat up a rhino.
But you can't be an elephant.
But it's not Paul Giamatti, so like.
You can't be Daisy as an elephant. What's the point?
Everybody wants Paul Giamatti.
I've never heard anyone say that.
But yeah, Super Mario, it's fun to be an elephant power-up. Ooh, I want this game. I do want this game. Anyway, that's it. Super Mario Brothers Wonder blowing out sales like Five Nights at Freddy's. Kat, what you got?
I don't know. What was my other story?
I don't know. I didn't see it.
So speaking of the strike being over and new things coming out, we have new information from director Ridley Scott, who is shown in the image that we're going to show you. It's being lightly suggested that he should make a movie shorter than 7, 8, 12 hours. Anyway.
Doesn't appear to like that.
So, Napoleon is coming out soon, starring Joaquin Phoenix, and is supposed to be one of the more exhaustively researched movies that have been made about him.
The operative word.
I mean, it could have been worse. Kubrick also wanted to make a Napoleon movie.
Oh,
God,
But
no.
Anyway, I don't even know how that would work. But, like, yeah, very exhaustively researched, and apparently Ridley Scott missed a couple of things. For instance, Marie Antoinette, when she was executed, had cut all of her hair very short. And also, he didn't shoot guns at the pyramids. And when a historian pointed this out to him after the trailer, his response was, and I quote, "Get a life. Get a life. I did all the research and I just don't care about this thing." Ridley Scott is done. They were like, they also asked him, a journalist asked him, what would you say if this one finally won you your very own Oscar? And he said, I would say it's about feckin' time. He's just out there just being like, I don't care.
You know what? I support him on
He's
that.
officially reached that age.
He went on a rant about how Joaquin Phoenix showed up 2 weeks before filming and was like, I don't really get this. And he's like, what? And he's like, all of it. So they had to sit down scene by scene through the whole movie and explain to him.
They had to take him to school.
To Napoleon School, yeah.
They had to go to world history for him. Just take a community college course. They'll
I
get to
guess-
it eventually.
Maybe he's making up for not being that short in stature by being short intellectually. A few points lower.
Dang.
Now I'm picturing Josh Hutcherson as Napoleon.
Why do you get Joaquin Phoenix? You
I don't know
need a
why you
guy-
get
like,
Joaquin Phoenix, anyways. Just for like movies.
Yeah, you need
Like Joker.
Yeah.
He was good in Gladiator, which I assume is why he's here.
But he wasn't the star, so that's...
Yeah. But like,
Is he gonna show up in Gladiator too?
Probably
not.
not.
Does he not? Does he? He dies.
also,
Sorry, 20-year-old movie. Does he die?
yeah.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
you
Okay.
guys.
Oh my god, spoilers.
Apparently, he also had access to an hour and a half's worth of footage that they'd shot on Gladiator 2 and spent the strike editing it himself, which is interesting.
What Scott did?
Yeah. I'd be interested to see.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got to know how to.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That-
Anyway, he's just kind of in that crazy old man phase that I kind of dig.
He had no F's to give anymore.
They're gone.
Done.
He left them in his other coat.
Got anything in your coat?
I do. I have my last hope for Marvel. The trailer for Echo came out this week. I will say this show was shot before Marvel started hiring showrunners, which, how were you not hiring showrunners? But whatever. So I am concerned about it for that reason, because they don't have anyone running the show. They just had kind of executive producers stopping by to be like, oh, this, I want to change this, and they would reshoot it and fix it in post and change things around in the edit, which, if you've ever wondered why Marvel TV shows a lot of times don't make sense or some of their dialogue feels really weird, that's why. There's no one in charge of these shows.
How?
The first Marvel show to have a showrunner will be Daredevil. That's why they are reshooting all of what they've shot so far, which was half of the first season.
Oh my god.
That being said, I do have some hope for this show just because of the level of talent in the acting portion. Alakwa Cox showed that she was amazing in Hawkeye. Obviously, Vincent D'Onofrio, absolute banger anywhere he goes, but especially in his role as Kingpin. And although he's not really shown in the trailer, Charlie Cox is going to be in this TV show, and he is currently credited for all 5 episodes. So I think it's going to be really interesting if they give Vincent D'Onofrio absolutely any amount of leeway or something to do in the show. I think he's going to rock it. And Alakwa Cox is amazing. So I'm interested in the show. I am worried because they didn't have a showrunner, but could be good. I will say I am watching Loki season 2 right now, and the fact that they don't have one is really, really clear.
I mean, I'd be a lot more
Yeah,
worried.
there's
I'd
some
be
stuff
like
there.
terrified if this was a DC property, because DC can be very directionless sometimes and inconsistent. Like with Marvel, I more see it as some of their earlier shows were easier to watch and better. I think Kevin Feige was just doing that role and not credited.
Yeah, and then I think he stopped.
Well,
somewhere.
like, and it's gotten less cohesive, and they're like, we have to replace it.
Yeah, and Loki,
So.
Loki's kind of a train wreck right now.
I remember announcing on this show Alakwa Cox being cast as Echo, and it's like, we need we have a character who's Native American, deaf. So let's go find an actress that is Native American, and y'all went hard on this, and I love them for it. I will always appreciate them getting this casting right. Also, she's super pretty, but
It doesn't hurt
very
that she's
pretty.
gorgeous.
it does not hurt that she is. Yes, she is. But to play a pretty Native American deaf character, because I liked Echo in the comics actually. I'm hoping to actually see some of her looks from the comics in the show. We didn't see it in Hawkeye, with the white handprint.
Yeah.
And her actually being Ronin would be cool.
I support them not doing the white handprint immediately, because they didn't want to hit you in the face right away with
She needs a moment for it.
aggressively.
Yeah.
Like, which I respect, because yes, it is a primary aspect of her character, and that's very important, but her character is more than that. So I kind of support them not doing it yet, but they need to.
Yeah, I want it as a moment, not
Yeah.
like it's there. No. When it happens, so I can go like that. So
I mean, I've been a low-key stan of Echo for a long time. I took sign language in high school and actually taught it briefly after, so like, I just always thought she was really cool, and it was really fun to watch it come to life in so many of the ways that I imagined her being.
Yeah.
yeah, it was one of the Avengers comics. She like revealed herself when she started wearing the Ronin suit. We didn't know who the new Ronin was.
Yeah.
So when she took the mask, I was like, oh, it's Echo. Like, it was real cool for me at that moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still want to watch the series, but damn, no showrunners. What the hell is going on here?
And that's why, like, I'm more
Who let this
encouraged by
happen?
that announcement, and like moving forward, I'm gonna put a little bit more faith in Marvel. Right now, I'm like, this show could be really good, but I don't have a lot of faith in Marvel as a whole right now.
Cool. Legend of Korra.
Never. Never
A
again.
bit rude considering our previous conversation.
I know. I just want to
Not a fan of the
throw
show.
some
Anyway,
salt again.
Anyway, I have something, like, since we've been talking about, like, actors and everything, I have a little story that's kind of cute, which is weird because it's about Attack on Titan.
Sure, the cutest anime.
The
So
absolute
cute, adorable.
cutest uwu anime you ever did see. So Attack on Titan had its this is gonna be a long one. So Attack on Titan, the final season, the final chapters, part 2, had its finale on Saturday. It is done. It's done. No more show. It is done. But I'm sorry. They put like the final season, the final chapters. It's like just call it the final season, and then just make it a big season or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
That made me angry.
Calm down.
Yeah. Anyway, but in this season, in this last episode, we had the appearance of our youngest voice actor currently, and that was Yuki Kaiji, who plays Eren Yeager. His son, or not his son, or his child, we don't know the gender of the child, got to have a moment. They needed a baby crying, and so the father that he recorded different sound bites when his kid was crying and sent it to the producers. The team wanted this specifically because the whole finale has a theme of like inheritance and succession, and they thought that it would just be like this nice little cherry on top for the metaphor. So his child has a voice in Attack on Titan of him crying, and I just think that's kind of cute.
That's adorable.
I hope his contract was good.
Yeah.
There was an old movie that did, like a 90s movie that did something similar that was just like a producer's kid or something, but I don't remember what it
The
was.
first thing that comes to mind actually is South Park.
Yeah, that's what I was
They're
thinking.
like the baby.
The Canadian baby.
The Canadian baby is
Ike.
the child of like Trey Parker or Matt Stone, I think.
Really?
Yeah, that's not what I was thinking. But yeah, that definitely. And I've seen.
It's
I
adorable.
don't watch South
Yeah.
Park,
Yeah.
but watching them record it in the studio is hilarious because the dad or coach, maybe not the dad, maybe the
It is
coach,
her dad.
will like say the line first and then the kid repeats it.
Aww.
And that's how
Adorable.
they get it to happen. And it's cute.
Well, I know in like Maleficent, the baby is Angelina Jolie's baby.
Oh, jeez. Really?
Yeah, they had a hard time getting that baby to be scared of
It's
her.
a baby. Oh.
Because it is her
Mommy!
child, and she was so excited to see her mommy.
It's adorable.
That's just very much the dogs wagging their
Yeah.
tails while they're supposed to be aggressive
It's like
and attacking.
aggressively barking, and they'll be like,
And then they're like, run over here, puppy. And they're like, yeah.
Having such a good time.
Now bark. And they're like, "Ruff." And their tails are going crazy.
going crazy.
Yeah.
yeah. That, but like a baby.
Yeah. It's that energy.
Fuck.
Well, I can't wait to see the baby's next work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, and this child
What's
is like,
next for you?
like, I think the kid is like 1.
He's like,
He pooped himself. That
Milk.
was his next move.
food, hungry.
You won't answer my questions.
Already getting a big head.
Yeah.
Can't talk to an interview.
Some people
Anyway.
think they're
He was
too
walked
good.
out of the interview after he shit himself.
Hey, Jason, what do you got for us?
Yesterday, it was kind of late because I had to go back and write this story, but one of my favorite franchises, we got the teaser trailer for Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Looks fantastic. It's got that darker feel that we got from Afterlife. I am loving what I'm seeing so far. What? You saw Afterlife, right? No? Okay. It's a little bit darker. This will be the first movie, sadly, in the franchise, not with no involvement by Ivan Reitman. His son did co-write the script with the director. We do see the returning cast of Afterlife coming back, as it looks like the team is now moving to the firehouse in New York to become Ghostbusters. And we did see Ernie Hudson and Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd returning. This is how this movie should have been. The old guard teaching the new guard how to be Ghostbusters. Some good shots of Ecto-1, but the main crux, the main story looks to be a creature known as the Dead Chill has come forth and has frozen New York in the summer. And it looks terrifying with the ice spikes like falling from the sky and coming up through the ground to pierce things. There's it's that Ghostbusters feel where the city and possibly the world are in danger, and who you gonna call. This looks great. I can't wait. I love the Ghostbusters franchise. Due to come out March 29th, 2024. This movie, March 29th, 2024. It did finish filming right before the strike started. So, kind of poetic that it strikes over and now, oh, here's the trailer.
Yeah.
They've been waiting. They've been waiting.
Yeah, but we do see the characters in the movie: McKenna Grace, Finn Wolfhard, Carrie Coon, and Logan Kim and Celeste O'Connor, who are basically our new Ghostbusters coming back. This team is mostly Spanglers, and I love it. Yeah. Oh, and new comers to the cast will be Patton Oswalt and Kumail Nanjiani. Sorry. So
with
yeah,
a little Paul Rudd sprinkle.
Paul Rudd is definitely in this movie. I forgot to mention him.
Yep.
Anyway, but if you want a deeper write-up on that, go to supercoolnerdshow.com. There's a story on there by me, a bunch of screenshots, and the trailer.
I love Patton Oswalt's existence in geek franchises, mostly as a fan. Like, that's what he is. He's all of us as a fan in a lot of things. And it's just fun to watch. We're not at all salty that people unfairly hated on the Girls Ghostbusters movie. So.
Totally not.
I didn't hate the movie, but I did not like that they didn't treat it like this movie. Old guard teaches the new guard. I can see where people had a problem with them kind of like rewriting like Ghostbusters. Like,
it was a full-on reboot.
Yeah, it was
like Bill Murray's in it and not as
exactly.
Venkman.
I will never like that. I will never like the original character. No. I'll never like that. Shouldn't have been that movie. That movie should have been them as the old Ghostbusters. Here's the new team.
So you don't like a?
I like
Amy
a reboot.
reboots?
No. It's not even that I don't like a reboot. I just didn't like how they did that one.
Gotcha.
They should have been like being brought in as the new team, trained by the old team. Get your training montage in or whatever, you know? I didn't like that. I just, everything that I've seen with Ghostbusters where they've done like additions to the series, like they did the extreme Ghostbusters in the 90s, but they still had the old team in there.
Gotcha.
That's how I want it to be. I want that passing of the torch.
I mean, I get that.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see that movie as well.
Yeah.
I just happened to like the one with the women, and I didn't have a lot of affinity for the Ghostbusters franchise before that. So, like, I understand that I wasn't coming in with that knowledge.
But don't get me
and
wrong,
history.
I like that movie. I especially like the longer cut of it. I didn't like the cut that they did for the theaters. I like the longer cut. And I still like the movie, but what I want and what I like is just
missing that element.
Yeah, what I want and what I like are two different things.
Yeah.
I like that passing of the torch, you know.
That's fair.
Which they're doing with this movie, which is why I do like that.
Did they in Afterlife?
Yeah.
So the originals did appear in that one as well?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
I didn't see it. That's good. Yeah.
It's got a moment in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, but regardless, this is the movie that I think I wanted more. And I do like there's a younger. We need people to keep this franchise going because time is very cruel at times.
Yeah. I
okay?
think I get a little bit nervous when I see kind of old guard teaching the new guard because I've seen so many franchises, especially from the 80s, that have an old guard teaching the new guard, and then we get so nostalgic about the old guard in the movie that we forget to develop the new guard. That's one of the biggest problems with Star Wars, is that we introduced Finn, Rey, and Poe, and then we're like, but they don't need personalities. We're going to talk about the old Star Wars, and like, I think I get really nervous about that.
Yeah, there's definitely some accomplishment that needs to be done. You have to handle it well, but I like, you know, that's why I never have a problem with things like, you know, Miles taking over for Peter in Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Because handle it well, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Because, you know, time is a factor. We need somebody to keep things going. Do you want it to end or do you want it to keep going?
Yeah.
I think it's a lot easier too when like the Ghostbusters are kind of like fumbling idiots through a lot of it, like the comedic potential of them turning over all their expertise when they were barely holding it together sometimes is fun, especially like
learning through chaos would be great.
Bill Murray as a mentor.
Yeah.
You're just like there's a
objectively
lot of
hilarious,
jokes there.
Yeah. I would have enjoyed, but you know, we'll hopefully see that. But yeah, I'm excited for it. But moving on.
I don't have another like main story. They're making new Inside Out.
They are.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
The
The
trailer
teaser
came out
trailer
today, I think.
started today. That puberty button gets switched on.
Dude,
and
post this stuff so I actually catch up with it. I was
yeah,
really busy.
I
at
just
work
thought somebody else would have it, and then I got distracted. They're introducing at least one new primary emotion, one called anxiety.
Hey.
Yeah.
None of
The
us
one
know
that's
what
in
that's
charge
like.
of my console.
Yeah.
I don't want to know who's running the show up there.
I wonder, is one of the new emotions ADHD?
It's a way of life. We don't have primary consoles. There's just nothing. But
There's
yeah,
16 of them.
Yeah.
Like, which one's in control today? Who
and
knows?
there's 3 or 4 more new ones. We don't know anything about the other ones besides that anxiety
The
exists.
gamut of emotions.
They got away from like such a strict like gendering of the emotions, which is kind of fun. Anxiety is like kind of female presenting, but like isn't cute little girly. I don't know. It could be fun. They did not bring back Mindy Kaling and Bill Hader, although their characters are still there because the studios wouldn't fucking pay them.
Topical.
Which I do disagree with. Somehow they found money for Lewis Black, though, who somehow doesn't sound like Lewis Black,
No.
even though it's still him. But Amy Poehler's still there.
Okay.
Could be fun and wholesome.
Maya
see.
Hawke plays the new one.
I have to go watch the trailer.
Yeah, it's a teaser. And
I can't
barely
really miss
that.
it. Anyway,
Was there anything else that I wanted to talk about? Mostly, just go see Haunting in Venice if you haven't. Go see Haunting in Venice. It's the new Hercule Poirot, which I cannot do because I can't do a French accent. But it's the new Kenneth Branagh, and it came out. We watched a lot of horror, believe it or not, in the last month. That was one of the ones that we watched. And Haunting in Venice was really good. Made $120 million off of a, I want to say, $60 million budget.
Nice.
Pretty good.
And is really true to its concept, which is basically the mystery setup, but done in a more through a more horror-y lens. It's not terrifying, but it's just really solid movie.
Yeah.
cool. Core, you got anything for us to close out?
I do. I was gonna announce the Zelda announcement, but it's literally just we're getting a Legend of Zelda live action. Cool. We don't have any other information. We don't know if they're gonna follow a specific game, if it's gonna be a new story.
Anything to say about the casting?
We don't know if they found the right twink to be Link, but I'm sorry, I saw that online and I can't help it.
There's not even a rumor. There's a fan casting and somebody that really, 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 really wants to play Zelda.
And I want her
I
to be
mean-
Zelda.
I
I
would
want
be
that for
down.
her. I want that for her.
No, I'll play Link. I got it.
You're not twink enough. Anyway, the other choice.
Sorry, you're not twink enough.
I'm sorry.
The other thing I would like to actually close the show on is there is a fan video on YouTube, and this has become one of my favorite short films, and it is a fan film that is a love letter to the Ghibli film Nausicaa in the Valley of the Wind. And Chris Tex, he is a Brazilian creator, like lives in Brazil. He, along with his friends and family, made this film, self-funded, non-profit. It took 7 years to make. Here is a shot of everybody that worked on the film. It was filmed on location in Brazil, and it is, honestly, it's beautiful. If y'all have ever seen Nausicaa, he gets it. Like, obviously, he gets it. He spent 7 years making this movie. But the environmental, everything is beautiful. The music is perfect. The actress they have for Nausicaa, beautiful. Love her. And you do not need to know Portuguese or Spanish to watch the film.
But it helps.
No. The only word spoken in the entire film is her name at the very end. Other than that, it is completely nonverbal. So it is perfectly fine to watch. It's only 16 minutes long, so I highly recommend going to just go watch it after the show. It's very good. He wants to donate all of the props and costumes from this film to the Ghibli Museum in Japan. They need to accept those. They are very well done. And if y'all have some time after the show, just go watch it. just search for Nausicaa fan film. I think it's titled Wind Princess. Yeah, I think it's Wind Princess, or just search for his YouTube channel. It's already broken at least 1 million views. I'm very happy for him, and he deserves that. He deserves it. He worked very hard on it.
Yeah.
Put something on the website about it. Anyway. All right, well, guys, that is our show. It is good to be back. Congratulations to the actors and their brand new deal. And the studios, you suck for going this long. Anyway, of course, if you want to follow us at SCNS Live on Threads, Blue Sky, maybe X. I don't know. I didn't mean to say X. I really didn't. Twitter. Yeah. Still with hashtags. Anyway, but if you want to follow us personally, and go over to supercoolnerdshow.com because I'm going to be writing stories over there again. But if you want to follow us personally, you can find me on Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky at Jason the X.
You can find me occasionally on Instagram at BetterCat.
Same, kind of occasionally on Instagram at The Good Cast.
You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitter mostly at Corodono Art, and very vaguely on Blue Sky. I still am trying to understand the platform.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm wondering who's going to win out of Threads and Blue Sky right now. But anyway, that is it for us. We'll be back next week. We are quickly approaching our season where we stop and enjoy our holidays. But we're going to try to get some shows in. Probably do some streaming. I don't think we have any announcements about D&D just yet, but we'll get around to it. Anyway, that's it for us, guys. I hope you like the show. We'll see you next week. And as we always say around here, keep on nerding.